was about to enter the happiest place on earth when I walked through the metal detector. Beep, beep, beep. The security guard waved me to the side with that same bored expression they all have, and I stepped out thinking this would take like 30 seconds. Can I get a female agent for a pat down? The guard called out, and a woman in blue gloves approached me. Standard stuff, I figured. My dad was right behind me in line, checking his phone for our breakfast reservation at Cinderella's castle. We'd planned this trip for 3 months, ever since Grandma died. But when her hands passed over my jacket pocket, she paused. You've got something metal in here. She reached in for what I assumed were the quarters I'd forgotten about, but her hand stopped. Her fingers were still inside my pocket, and her face changed completely. We need to do a secondary screening, she said, pulling her hand back out without showing me anything. Both of you, come with me. What? Dad stepped away from the line. What did you find? She didn't answer, just gestured toward a door marked private screening. Dad kept asking what was going on as they led us down a hallway. He hadn't even gone through the metal detector yet. I didn't answer. I couldn't, because I knew what was in my pocket, and if I told them what it really was, they'd say I couldn't do it, and I had to do it. Inside was a small room with fluorescent lights and a metal table. 2 other security officers were already waiting. The female agent finally pulled her hand out of my jacket pocket, this time all the way. She held up a small plastic baggie with white powder residue inside. My stomach dropped. Dad's face went pale. What is that? What's in the bag? One of the officers asked me directly. It's not drugs, I said. Dad's head whipped toward me. Drugs? Why would they think? He stared at the baggie, then at me, like he'd never seen me before. The supervisor leaned forward. Ma'am, we're going to need a straight answer. Where did you get this? I didn't get it anywhere. He crossed his arms. Did someone give it to you? No. Did you purchase it? No. Dad was still staring at the baggie. Then where did it come from? I stayed quiet. The supervisor stepped outside and made a call. When he came back, he said, we're calling in a K9 unit. Dad's face went white. Do you understand how serious this is? He was pacing now, running his hands through his hair. This can't be happening. 5 minutes later, a German shepherd trotted into the room with its handler. The dog sniffed the baggie on the table, walked around it, sniffed again, didn't sit. The handler frowned. That's weird. 2 police officers who'd been standing in the corner stepped forward. We need to test this, one of them said, pulling out a field test kit. No, please don't, I said. She wouldn't like that. Dad's head snapped toward me. Who is she? Is it that edgy girl you've been hanging out with in school? No, I whispered. It's Grandma. Dead silence. The officer froze mid-motion with the test kit. Dad froze. It's what? Dad whispered. Grandma's ashes. I brought some of Grandma's ashes. His face went through 5 different emotions at once. You brought what? And then it all spilled out through my tears. Grandma talked about Disney my entire life, showed me her old photos from the 70s, collected those little Mickey figurines. When she died 3 months ago, I asked Dad if we could go to honor her. What I didn't tell him was that before she died, Grandma joked about wanting her ashes scattered at the haunted mansion. Might as well stay at the happiest place on earth forever, she'd said. So I took some from the urn at home, just a little bit, put it in a baggie. He was just staring at me, mouth open, still processing that 2 minutes ago he thought his daughter was a drug dealer. The supervisor rubbed his face. You can't scatter human remains here without permission. I know, that's why I didn't speak up sooner, I whispered. I'm sorry. But then the older female officer, who'd been quiet this whole time, spoke up. What was your grandma's name? June Martinez. She looked at the supervisor. I'll escort them out of here to go back through security. She looked at me. My mom loved this place too. Passed last year. She would have done the same thing. We walked out of the security office. I was confused. We were walking into the park, not out. She kept walking, leading us down a side path toward the haunted mansion garden. Rose bushes and old iron gates surrounded us. She stopped at the edge and turned her back. Make it quick, she said quietly. I smiled and scattered Grandma's ashes under a rose bush. Dad watched in complete shock. When I was done, she brought us right into the park and smiled. Have a great day. I couldn't believe it. We walked back toward Main Street. Dad just held up his hand for a high five. I stared at it. You're not mad? Nope. He grinned. I forgot to take my dab pen out of my pocket and they never checked me. So now I get to be blazed at Disney. Hope you're hungry. My jaw dropped. We spent the first hour at Disney in a security interrogation room instead of at our breakfast reservation, but Grandma got her wish.